So as a day stocker, my job was just as it sounds, to stock the shelves with, I don't know, everything that grocery stores carry. So I can tell you a couple stories about them. One of the things is, basically I'd get there after school. I was done with it, so it would be get there at like 3 o'clock or so. And I work until 10:30 at night. That was my usual shift. And a bunch of other guys from high school were also there as well, so I met some good friends during that time. But part of it was like, we'd have to, I mean, most of the job is pretty boring. You're basically taking stuff from the back stock room and putting it on the shelves and neatening things and fronting things, which means that you're pulling product to the front of the shelf to actually make the shelves seem full when they're actually not. Like, you've probably seen it when you go to a grocery store and you grab a box of cereal and you think it's full. But really it's not. It's like all of a sudden the shelf is empty, and then you look in the back and there's like, I don't know, a few boxes in the back there, like 3 or 4 in the rear part of the shelf. So anyways, each day the other stockers and I would get there after school, and we would be, you know, assigned, or we would split up what we were actually going to do that day. So some days we would do like the sodas, the baby food, which was always a freaking nightmare stacking baby food in a grocery store. Like, if you actually notice how small those actual jars are and how close they are together, it is a freaking nightmare to stack them without them smashing on the ground. Now, I don't know how, what the fuck? I don't know how baby food jars are made now, but back in my day, they're all made of glass. So if you drop it, they go smash on the ground, and then you gotta get a mop and clean it up, and it freaking sucks. So one of the things was, my buddy was doing sodas one day, and he fills up his cart and he stacks them all with 12 packs of soda all along the back of his car. There's tons of them stacked on his cart. And I felt like being, I don't know, an asshole that day. And I take my box cutter after he's done stocking his cart, and I'm watching him do it. And then I go ahead and make a slice throughout his whole entire cart, down the whole entire length of it, onto the sodas. And while he's standing there, so as you can imagine, the soda freaking exploded and it splashed all over himself. Another time was when one of my buddies was working a forklift, and I was cleaning out the produce section. So I had like all this stuff, like all these vegetables, like cucumbers, corn, melons, oranges, all that kind of stuff. And I see him down there, and I'm like holding this, you know, cob of corn. I'm like, I'm talking to my other buddy. He's like, you think I can hit him from here? He's like, yeah, you're not gonna hit him from here. And it's really, really far away. So I take the cob of corn and I just fucking bomb it, hitting him in the back of his head, and then it explodes. It like cracks in half, and you can see the corn kernels just flying in the air. Oh my god, he ran after me like a motherfucker after that, and he threw me in what we had, like, it was like basically a trough, but it was for washing all the old dairy down. So there would be like melted ice cream in there, old milk, all that other stuff, and he basically threw me in that, and that was not pleasant, but that was equal payback for what I actually did to him. And of course, like, I had like 4 different managers there, so it really depended who you were getting as a manager, whether you're gonna have a good day or not. There's always like that really cool manager, you know, and then there's like one that is a real stickler for everything, and he kind of makes your life pretty crappy, makes your shift pretty crappy. And then there's the middle of the road guy, which I can't remember their names. God damn it, I wish I could. The guy that was really cool, he was awesome. I wish I still knew that guy, but whatever. At nighttime, the actual night stalkers would come in, and again, I say stalkers, not stalkers. And these guys were actually pretty cool as well, but you could tell they're kind of like a rough bunch, you know. They're all like tatted up and everything, and they're older guys, like in their, I don't know, mid-30s or whatever, or 40s, and they would be the ones that were in charge of loading stuff off of the actual trucks in the back. So we couldn't do it, they wouldn't let us do it, work the mechanical forklifts, so they would actually go ahead and do it and take the pallets off the back of the trucks. And then they would kind of like, they would work different stuff than we would, but sometimes they would work the same stuff that we did, and they would look around and they would be like, what the fuck were you guys doing all day? while joking with us at the same time, because they knew we were kind of just fucking around. But it was what it was. It was, again, my first job. It was an interesting job. I had a lot of memories in it. Like, I remember wrestling in the freaking aisles and all this other crazy stuff, and more stuff than I've probably forgotten that I haven't mentioned. But that was my experience with my first job. So if you guys have anything else with your first job, I'd like to hear what they were. And tell me some cool stories about them. And that's it for today's motovlog. That will conclude it. So until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.